We are live. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where today I'm here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It is not going to happen this video, but that's okay. I'm going to live to fight another day. Joining me is my co-host, Mrs. Belle. I'll say what's up to her.
Hello, beautiful people. I'm taking my braids out, so I'm off camera, but I'm happy to be here. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Happy Sunday. And yeah, that's all. I'm in a good mood today.
That's
Prayer.
good, friend. We love when people are in good moods. Hi, Dr. Jim Bunny. Hey, girl, you supposed to be up here with us. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna connect with you though. I'm gonna try to send you a link for a Zoom meeting so we can one meet and then
Dr. Jim
two.
Bunny is a time. We need
Yes.
to go find her, help her with her gardening. We need to bring her some expensive California wine and then laugh at people. That's what
Oh
we need.
yeah, I'm coming to DC to visit you. Just know that we coming to DC to come see you. I promise you. Oh yes. Okay. So yes. So we're gonna set up a Zoom meeting so I can meet you and then we can, definitely talk about collabing because girl, I need you up here too. But let's go ahead and talk about this is Belle Collective Birmingham season 1, episode 3, Before the Storm. Y'all, this episode was crazy as hell. And at first, when I watched it the first time, I was like, okay, where are we going with this? But that was just the sleep talking. When I watched it the second time, I said, oh no, people got audacity and nerve. Okay. So we got an episode, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we are at the Canvas Beauty Lala-esque fragrance seminar live via TikTok. And as we're doing this live, technical issues are going on. And come to find out, the wrong product is being advertised for sale. So as Stormy's looking at it, she goes, no, that's the wrong product. That's the wrong product. Oh my gosh. That's, the 3 bundle. We're trying to sell the book. So Amber over there, typing on her computer, looking around in circles and shit, acting like she didn't just do this. And she goes, Stormy, no, Stormy, that's the right product. Remember, it's the 3-for-1 bundle. And she goes, no, that is not. We're talking about the book. So she said, no, Stormy, I didn't know the book was the box. She goes, well, why didn't you ask me? Like, you could have asked me and we could have prevented all of this. And mind you, people are buying it left and right, left and right. I think she said almost 2,000 people have bought the product, but they bought the wrong thing. And now people are commenting, oh my God, we bought the wrong product. What the hell's going on? Stormy is frustrated. She is getting jittery. She is telling the harpoonist lady to stop playing that shit. I cannot hear that right now. She is saying all kind of shit. Meanwhile, she is very irritated at Amber because now she has to rectify this and also lose money on product. For those of y'all who are in business, that is not something you ever want to do at a promotion of anything, is to lose money. The whole sole purpose is to gain money. So Stormy at this point right now, she can't get angry. She can't get mad, even though she was giving Amber all kind of faces in that scene. She now has to go and rectify. So she goes up to Lala, interrupts her session and say, hey, I'm so sorry about the technical difficulties of people buying the wrong product. So you know what I'm going to do? The first 1,000 people that bought a product, I'm going to send you both things, the second thing for free. It is on me for our mess up. Y'all, 1,000 people is a lot. Like, that might not seem like a lot, but y'all have to understand, taking in Stormy's inventory, missing 1,000 products of a bundle of 3 because people bought the wrong thing, that messes up books, that messes up inventory count, that messes up analyticals, that messes up a lot of different things in a business. Like, I know this had to cost Stormy more than what she said on TV. I know, because she has to pay shipping costs. She has to do all of this extra weight, because when you ship through U.S. Postal Service, they weigh that shit. So you have to, yes. So Stormy is putting out a lot of money. So I would have been pissed at Amber as well. I'm sorry. Amber would have gotten written up. Amber would have had to say, okay, you got to go home because now I got to fix what you done messed up. And Amber just sitting up there, she didn't apologize. She didn't do any of that. Like, I felt like, to me, Amber, the least you could have did, because you misunderstood, regardless if it was Stormy's mispronunciation or misallusion of what the product was, you still could have said, I'm sorry, because that's your boss. But maybe I'm reaching. I don't know. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about this mess up and Stormy cleaning it up and what she is giving her clients and patrons?
I think that Amber should have apologized. Here's the thing: when you're, I think the professional thing to do is to be accountable when you're at work, especially when you do any form of work that services the public. I mean, I don't know. I'm in public health and mental health, and if we make a mistake, that impacts a client or it could make someone else's job harder. So we apologize. I remember when I was fresh out of college making mistakes, and I apologize for every mistake. And people seemed to really appreciate it and gave me pointers that helped me become better in what I do for a living. I feel like when you're making a mistake, though, that's costing money, girl, say sorry, grovel, DoorDash some coffee to Stormy, whatever her favorite cappuccino or latte is, okay? Like, do something. She was very nonchalant with it. And then the way that she made the mistake, she just did not read. She just did not read and obviously was not paying attention. And when you're the CFO, we expect you to pay attention.
Absolutely. We expect you pay attention because you playing with people's money. Like this event is thrown. Like to me, I think Stormy is genius for doing this. I really do. I think Stormy is very genius for marketing on TikTok and having a large clientele through TikTok to purchase items because as she said later on, this did set them up for the entire year. So I feel like this is a success, but then also Stormy, like out of this $3 million, like what did you have to take back when it came to a product? Like how much product did that add up to? I need numbers now because that was a huge mess up. But we're gonna talk about the next thing that happened in the scene. But let me read some of y'all comments really quickly. They really are popping it off, though. I have to give it to them. This was a good show. Yeah. Hi, Keywan. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. She did mess up, and I swear I was looking at Amber like you could tell this is something new to her. This is not
Yeah.
something she's been doing forever. I
She says she
probably
played basketball, and she's just a lot of women who play basketball professionally overseas or in the WNBA. A lot of them do end up finishing their degrees because they're not paid as much. So I feel like she was probably playing basketball, doing that, came home, cool with Stormy, and that's how she got into this. But she doesn't move like someone who's been doing it. Like Dr. Jen says, anybody that works with numbers, even if you don't work with numbers, like anybody that works with like documentation, admin, whatever the hell it is, knows to double check everything. How could
okay.
you let that go live and not double check?
Knowing that people are gonna buy the product, and then when it goes out, they're gonna blame Stormy for this.
I feel bad for the warehouse.
Me too, because now
Anybody who's
that
worked at a warehouse, when that come through with it, they start
and that's
learning the.
another thing. You got to pay employees overtime to ship out the extra
Mhm.
shit because their regular hours probably are already tied up with other orders. So you got to pay them overtime to get the correct orders out, to get the double orders out. Yeah, it's a lot. Amber done fucked up in just that 2 minutes. That's just a lot that she done fucked up. Now, so we have some guests coming in. Martell is here. I could have did without Bartell personally because he didn't really add anything to the whole element. I don't know once again what Stormy was thinking, but I feel like this was a way for Carlos to parlay him into another franchise of the show. Carlos, we didn't need this, we really didn't. But as they're getting there, also Kayla, Sonetta, and Fumi also show up as well. And Fumi is just taken aback. She said, "This place is so beautiful. On the outside, you would never think that on the inside you would transition to this very great functional space. It is absolutely amazing. It's beautiful." And I do agree with her. It is absolutely stunning. Whoever that interior decorator is, I need to hire her when I get my shit together because that was beautiful. So
Get your shit together,
yeah, when I get my shit
Lord.
together, yes, that is exactly who I'm hiring for the Watch Your Mouth Reviews space. I
Mm.
definitely would love to do that because I am not a like I love interior decorations. I do, but I don't have an eye for it. So I would love to like have like a nice atmosphere for a
Oh, Lord,
space.
you just don't know, friend. Interior decorating, I am great at it.
Oh, I know
Halloween.
you are. Trust me, I know you are. Um, but as the ladies are getting there, Stormy is greeting them, and we had a little segment from Tiffany. She goes, "My man took me on a day trip. We went to Atlanta. We ate and had a good time. So, as much as I would have been here to support Stormy, I'm glad the other ladies are going to support her, and I hope it goes well. Once again, Carlos, this was not needed." because this was very shady of her to do that and for y'all to put her up to doing this. Very shady. We didn't need to know what was going on. She'll have a scene later on the episode, I'm sure. So why would we need this little, you know, momentum confessional from her saying, all these pieces, because it sounded like she was saying from the sidelines, just not just unsubliminally. So, the ladies, Stormy asked the ladies, do y'all want to get in on the TikTok live and everything? So they pull up a segment with Martell and the ladies. And the ladies are coming in. They greet Martell. We learned that Fumi actually styled Martell for a magazine shoot that he had. Now, Fumi, are you responsible for why them clothes are so tight that he can't breathe? Is that your doing? Please don't let it be your doing, Fumi. I need you to come out and clarify now because he didn't already threw you under the bus. We already be questioning Martell's style as it is. The clothes look nice, but they just a tad bit too tight. We need Martell to go up the next size. Are you responsible for that? Let us know, Fumi. Come to Watch Your Mouth Reviews and let us know. Did you start this trend where he wearing the clothes way too tight? Inquiring minds want to know. But anyways, the ladies are talking, they're in the scene with Martell, um, Amber's little niece, Keelan, whatever her name is, joins them as well. And I didn't even recognize her. I thought that was somebody else. I was like, who the hell is this now? They all look different at times. But she was talking about, she want to get a man and, talk about what should she do, what kind of gift should she buy if it's his birthday. Fumi said, listen, a man, you shouldn't have no budget for no man except 20 damn dollars. If you got $20, that's his birthday gift. And if it's more than that, spend his goddamn money. I said, damn, Fumi. And Martell's like, wait, what? Is that what you do with your husband? She go, hell, fuck yeah, that's what I do with my husband. I take care of his kids. I wash the clothes. I clean. I cook. I'm spending that money. I aspire Fumi. This is why I love her already. Because at the end of the day, I believe everything that Fumi said. Mrs. Best, did you believe that that's how Fumi live her life?
She's African, okay? African woman. Listen, we gonna make sure we got a man that's willing to work and understands his place. And that is definitely how it should be. Nothing's wrong with it. I think people underestimate how much work it is to take care of a child.
Yep.
Okay. I've never underestimated that shit. That's why I ain't got no kids. Okay. But it is a lot of work. It genuinely is a lot of work. So I think it is to be respected. And Martell irritated me up there because he was kind of trying, but we know he's not smart. He was kind of trying to allude, like, as if Funi's doing too much. But she works if you just said that she styled you. She's also taking care of the kids and doing all of these other things. So, yeah, that man, he could pay for something. Shit.
Absolutely.
As a man, why would he not want to have
Mm-hmm.
his wife okay? I'm just saying. That's how you
I
know Martell ain't shit.
Exactly. So we then move on. Kayla's boyfriend Jason shows up to Stormy's event, and she's like, "Oh hi," and just as giddy. And I'm looking at her like, "Oh my god, you would have thought she was in high school seeing a man for the very first time." I'm like, "Girl, what the hell?" But the ladies are, talking with him, getting to know him better. Fumi is this confession. She goes, I really like Jason for Kayla. I think he's great. He's a good guy and everything. And I'm looking at Fumi like, okay, this is where you lose me. Y'all don't know this man and y'all don't know Kayla either. So we need to stop judging this off face value. I would have said, you know what? I hope that she's happy and I hope that she lives well. And I'm going to just watch from afar since we're in this situation together. So as they're talking and grilling the man and everything. Kylan, Amber's niece, is over there in the corner dancing and she getting it too. She's doing another little part for the TikTok where she's dancing and everything. And Kayla is watching and Kayla was all like, oh, what is she on to be doing all of that? Did she do one line or two or how did that work out? Now, everyone's looking at Kayla like she said something wrong. And that went way over my head when she said, what is she on? A line or two. I didn't know what the fuck she was talking about.
Oh my God, friend. Okay, now for y'all who don't know, James is not always. Sometimes he's late to the party as it relates to slang, pop culture, trends, and things like that.
Very true.
So that's probably why he didn't recognize that. You don't never look at nobody who's hyperactive and be like, What are you on? You throwing shade. I just had to help my friend because when I was watching it, I was like, I wonder if James don't catch this
Nope.
because he don't. Sometimes he don't know what the fuck I'm saying, and I use Bay Area language, and he's from the Bay Area.
Yep.
Okay, so
Let me explain
but
something to
she
you.
should
I
not have
wouldn't
said that.
allow.
She should not have said that. If you see somebody hyperactive, I'd be like, girl, did you have some coffee or energy drink before you got here? I'm not gonna say, are you on something? Are you utilizing the booger sugar? Kayla better stop before somebody talk about her gums. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. She got too many gums and small teeth to be insinuating that anybody is on any type of a drug. Girl, be quiet and go to the dentist and the orthodontist. That's all I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So Amber didn't say anything in the moment. She was just kind of, just there, and this is gonna get back in a whole lot of way. But Stormy goes up to the ladies and really, appreciates them being there, and tells them how much she enjoyed them, and then thanks them for their time. And that was pretty much the scene. From what we understand, this whole event was supposed to be 48 hours of a TikTok live. It actually went for 52. Congratulations, Stormy. We appreciate that. We'll talk a little bit more about this a little bit later. So we then move on to Amber. So Amber's at the office working, and I said, Amber, I hope you cleaned up that mess that you made, but I strongly doubt it. So she calls her mama, and she's telling her mom that she needs her to come to a doctor's appointment because she's going to make the decision to not freeze her eggs. Now, Mama old Southern, and Mama says, see, you don't need me to come, but you need to get you a man. Are you gonna get you a man, baby? And she goes, Mama, you worried about the wrong thing. You worried about the wrong thing. In her confessional, he goes, my mom, thinks it's odd that I don't have somebody at my age and I'm not married. There has been conversation of whether or not Amber is gay, and I actually believe that. I'm sorry, I don't think Amber is straight. I'm just gonna be the one to put it out there. I'm not trying to tell her business. I'm not trying to label her as that as well. But I'm sorry, Amber give me vibes like Dr. Contessa over there. She really do. I'm sorry, she just does. And I didn't want to go there, but since Amber already said it and already said that was a conversation, I can relax and breathe now because I thought the same thing. Sorry, Amber. There's no insult to that. And I want people to stop being insulted by hearing that. There's no insult to being gay. If that's what it is, that's what it is. Like, I'm not trying to sit up here. Like, it is what it is. I date
She
men.
does give, like, there's a difference between being a confident woman and then coming across as someone that she just doesn't give someone that's interested in men.
She doesn't.
She just doesn't. And nothing wrong with it.
No.
Nothing
Nothing
wrong
wrong
with
with
it.
it. Nothing wrong with it at all. I just feel like, to me, I think she lives in an area, in a state to where that is still, I mean, most states are like this. We still have, certain areas where that's still looked upon, especially in the Black community, that's still frowned upon. But I feel like we are elevating, and the more people that live this and make this a normal sense, the more people will stop looking at it as such a negative thing. I just feel
Mhm.
like that's just where we are with it. But Amber, come on now. So her niece Kylan walks in after she gets off the phone with her mama, and they're talking while they're putting together some chairs. And she said, on the post, y'all little friend Kayla, comments on the thing, and she says, girl, you did a great job. I was trying to figure out what you were on, the line one, line two, once again, I don't know what the fuck that means, but we gonna go with it. Kyla felt was like, oh, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. So guess what? When I see her next time, it's on and pop it. I'm going to confront her. And Amber was like, no, you don't need to confront her. We don't need to do that. And Amber, her confessional again says, I think that's the problem with this generation versus our generation. We don't feel the need to respond to everything. And I said, Amber, that's the fucking problem. I finally figured out what your fucking problem is. You do need an answer to shit. You do need to confront shit. You do need to ask questions. You do need clarification. That's why that bullshit happened with that TikTok live, because you want to sit in silence. You cannot do that. So I don't blame Kylan for wanting to confront Kayla about it, because it shouldn't have been said. And then you double down on it and put it in a comment on social media. Like, I'm trying to understand Kayla, y'all. I really am, but she making it hard. So, Mrs. Best, how did you feel about Kylan walking into the scene and feeling away? I know we're gonna say that she is definitely, in her right to feel away because you shouldn't have commented that. But do you think that she should confront Kayla? Do you think that this is the time that she should do that?
I mean, she already confronted her with her post back. So if she wanted to confront Kayla, she would have hit up Kayla and DM'd her. But instead, she responded by posting a post. So
Mm,
I don't know. Kylan, I don't really care for Kylan, if I'm being honest. And it's just a thus far opinion. I'm not saying it's my full opinion of this girl, but I don't really care for her. Like, I don't dislike her, but I don't like her. I'm just kind of like looking at her like, you're gonna, it seems like she looks forward to having a beef.
yeah,
And it makes
agreed.
me not care that much more for her. That's the best. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but I just feel like she's looking
No,
forward to having a beef with anybody because
it's
she
given
wants
high
camera
school.
time.
It's given high
Yes,
school. It's given like, okay, you're in your right to be mad. Don't let y'all make no mistake. Kylan is in her right to be angry and upset about it. However, that doesn't have to turn into a full-blown confrontation. You could respond and say, "Hey, in private, that was not cool. I work for this company. This is business. Do not do that again." Point blank in the period. I don't think you notice ladies have a problem with her like that. Yes, Kayla was wrong as fuck, but at the end of the day, how you handle it, like you don't have to answer to it in a way that is so abrasive and obnoxious, in the sense of that you can confront her, and if she does it again a third time, you now have a paper trail to sue her now for defamation.
she's coming at this girl like she wants to fight. Like they know each
Yeah,
other and have this huge history. And it's like at the end of the day, you don't know this person. They said something about your energy. Just keep it moving. But when you come at her super defensive, then I'm gonna look at you and be like, well, are you snipping something? Because why are you so pressed? Who cares? But I do
exactly.
think she gives somebody who wants camera time. She's
Yep.
looking forward to a beef. She's highly disingenuous. And then you're putting your auntie, that's her aunt, Amber,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You putting Amber in a space because of course she's gonna stand for her niece. We can't get mad at her for that. But I don't know, she's doing too much. But
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. What we saying in these comments? Those gums are gummy. Oh, y'all need to stop. Not y'all. Now, Keywan.
Keywan go say not me dragging gummy bear, but I didn't call her gummy bear.
See, Keywan. Now you and Tamo go sit in the corner.
Right. Put Keywan in the corner.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, exactly. Like not gummy bear. Y'all. Ooh, wait. Y'all gonna have me calling that girl that. That. I want Amber to live her life. Amber, if you into women, it's fine. There's plenty of people. Look at Portia. Portia over there living her best life. Look at Niecy Nash. Y'all can't tell me Jessica Betts ain't fine because she is. So yeah, it's okay, Amber. You in good company, baby. They are turning the stigmas around. We need this, like we do. Come on, Amber. Now that we're really gonna be. Yep. So. Okay. She is like I didn't want to say this, Dr. Jim Bunny, but she is like I don't understand her. Like I don't. Kind of wants to be. She does. She wants to be sitting up here in the main photo cast, and it's like, girl, this ain't your age range. This ain't the type of group. You ain't got no business. You work for Stormy. We don't even know why Amber is sitting up there in the main cast. We hope that she got a big ass storyline somewhere that will make sense. So I call her gummy bear. Damn, Keywan. If Amber lived her life, her mom will flip. Honestly, I used to think like that. I used to think like that when I first started dating men. When I was 27, I'm like, "Ooh, how my mom gonna take it?" Because my mom is not the best responder to things. She's not. But then after a while, I was like, maybe after 4 or 5 months, and after I had met someone I ended up with, I was like, I don't give a fuck if she knows one way or another. Like, it is what it is. Like, you know. So don't be afraid of that, Amber. If you really that's truly what you are, then just live life for you. That's all. So we're gonna move along, y'all, to Stormy. So Stormy at the warehouse, Stormy got to work overtime because she got to clean up Amber mess, and she was talking to the guy. I believe his name is Michael, the one with the blonde hair, the little cute guy with the blonde hair. I think that's what his name is, Michael. Well, that's what he gonna be named today. I'll correct it next video. But she's telling him that she's as great as a success that TikTok was, despite all the hiccups. What Amber did cost her a lot. She has to go through public scrutiny now. She has to clean up the mess. She has to lose product, and it's all on her. Everything is weighing on her because she's the face of this business. She's the one in charge. She's the one that's in control. So when things like this happen, it's very frustrating for her. And y'all know Stormy is a processor like myself. We process, we internalize, we do things that are not very healthy for us. And I feel like, to me, Stormy, there should have been corrective action. She did it on TV. You can correct her on TV. You should have wrote her ass up or sent her ass home for fucking up the church's money. But you didn't do that. So I can't really fault you for being upset. I get you have to go through public scrutiny, but hell, Amber would have went down too. If it were my business, and let's say Mrs. Best works for me, and she so happens to fuck up, and I'm losing hundreds of thousands of dollars having to send out product and stuff, I'm gonna get mad at her. But then once again, that's why you don't have your friends work for you in that capacity. It's one thing to go into business together, fine, because it's now equally on both of you. But when you hire your friends and they make mistakes like this, and then you don't want to correct them because you value the friendship, that's why friends can't work together in that capacity. I tell y'all all the time, friends cannot work together. If you value the friendship and that's one of your closest friends and everything, don't hire them, because if they fuck up, that's going to change the dynamic of your friendship, because now you're compromised. So I, I want Stormy to stop doing this. I get giving your people a chance. I totally get that. I want to be able to do the same thing, but then I have to realize what that comes with. So that's one thing. And then the next thing we talk about is she has her creative director, the one I don't care for, Chanel, whatever the fuck her name is, with that fan. She's called, we're gonna call her Chanel with that fan until I figure out what her real name is too, because I don't really care for her. She calls, and she was talking to Stormy about everything. Everyone's had a chance to regroup and everything. And she goes, "Yeah, I'm so glad that you invited the Bells, but they were talking about you at Left One Now. Who did you leave out? What was her name?" And she said Tiffany. I don't feel her energy. When I had went to her event, I had agreed to be the host, and then when the event was over, she had rubbed me the wrong way, talking about, okay, now that you cleaned up, I need you to mop. I don't mop, so I don't know why she would come at me like that. And she go, "Oh, not that she coming at you. Like, maybe we need to have a conversation." And I'm just like, "Oh my God." I can already tell whoever the Chanel person is, you finna be messy as hell. You finna be a problem. I can already see that. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about, Stormy opening up about how she felt about the mishaps, and also the creative director on the phone, the Chanel with the fan lady?
I love Chanel. Chanel is just messy. Yeah, I just like messy, loud people, so I'm okay with that. I don't really have too much to add on the rest of the scene. I just feel like Stormy's extremely successful and she's doing really well. If she's okay with continuing to do things the way that she's doing things, fine. But if she ever wants to be able to step away from her company and it run the same way it does when she's so present, then she needs to correct Amber, put her on blast, blame it on your CFO. You're a boss, and this was your CFO's fault.
Mm-hmm.
That's how people get held accountable. That's what I would
Absolutely.
have did.
That's what I
But
would have did too. Yep.
yeah, or I would have took the extra cost out of Amber's check. Like, yeah, girl, we not gonna pay you all them free things I had to give away because of your mistake. I'm taking that from your paycheck. How about
Not you
that?
get, not you garnishing her wages.
Oh, I tell my friends all the time, y'all go into business with me. I am highly organized. I am also OCD. I will take your ass to court. I'm Maurice Scott. Okay. Paperwork make people act right.
They sure do, but oh my god, that is hilarious. Dr. Jim Buddy said, "I remember I had to tell my mom I was dating this white man. I was in my 20s. My mom was silent at first, but accepted it. It is what it is." Yeah, they come. Moms come around. Like, as I said, my mom is just not a processor. Like, my mom's one of the people. She's just reactive. You tell her wrong, she react first and then think about it later and then comes to her senses. So that's why
You
I'm careful
should.
with what I tell her. I do. I am so careful what I tell my mom because my mom doesn't respond correctly. It's always obnoxious, especially if she doesn't understand it. Now, if she gets it, she's fine with it. But if it's something she don't understand or something that just hits her out of left field, my mom is a reactor. It goes
Mm.
heightened, and then she think about it for about 2 days, and then she over it. It's like so that's why I'm always careful what I tell my mom. I am. I'm very careful what I tell her. Silence is so much better than saying the negative, and I'm glad she accepted it. Yeah, Chanel or Chanel with the child. Chanel, that damn fan is
A
driving me
lot.
crazy. That's a
Drama.
that's way too much. She needed to be up here with them ladies. I'm telling you, I need to see her business. Stormy has some messy boots on her team. She do, and I
That's
don't. And
gonna
she
be her
always
downfall. It's
it
already
is
cost her some money. Now look at the rest of them.
because Amber messy as hell, and then Chanel messy as hell. I'm just waiting for the Michael
Hmm.
dude to be messy, and I'm like, okay, Stormy, you just because you have to understand you are the company you keep. So if all these people around you is messy, 9 out of 10, you're messy as well.
Yep.
I'm just saying. I'm
Yep.
just saying. Garnishing weight. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, Mrs. Best. Let me tell you,
I do
Mrs.
not play
Best.
about my money.
But she the one
Never
doing
have, never
payroll. She
will.
ain't hiring nobody to do pay. Mrs. Best is doing the payroll. Let me tell
I
you
can
something.
count.
She ain't hiring the little lady that sit at the desk looking at everybody's time clock. Mrs. Best says she is doing that job herself so she can save the money and make sure that if you fuck up her money, she gonna fuck up yours. I'm just saying.
Hi,
Hi,
JB.
JB. Thank you for being here.
Look, the people gonna think I'm stingy. Hey, I don't play about money.
You
I
don't play
like to
about your
make it.
money,
I
but
like to keep it.
no, you like your checks and balances. You want every cent to be accounted for. If you lose a cent here, you
Yes.
got to take it from over here. Like this, that's Mrs. Best. If she lose 5 cents over here, she looks 5 cents got to come out of nowhere. Who was the person that fucked up? Oh, James, that was you. Okay, well, you getting deducted 5 cents. I got to look at the checks and balances got to be level. I'm sorry. Yes, it do. Yes, it
Oh
do. But hey, JB, thank you
Lord.
for being here. We appreciate you. She is.
She is.
Absolutely. She
Stormy's
is.
definitely
Stormy is
messy.
definitely messy. I love her, but she messy. I'm sorry. Because
She
you wouldn't
is.
have people like that around you if you weren't messy. I'm sorry. You just wouldn't. So we're gonna move it along, y'all, to the next scene. So next scene we have Amber. She's meeting up with Sonyetta and Tiffany. And I think Kayla was there too. Let me see in my notes. Yeah, Kayla was there as well. So Kayla is there, and they're doing this boxing class and having a good time. And they begin talking and they talk about the event and what happened, what was going on. And they all saying they were really proud of Stormy and they're so inspired by her because everything was so beautiful, everything was so pleasant. And Tiffany just sitting there with a stank face. And so they're all looking at Tiffany like, what's going on with you and Stormy and everything. And she goes, I don't know where we went left at. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on. So Tiffany has selective amnesia and didn't think about her words and what she could have said that could have potentially offended her. Because there's no way you were in that same scene with her, talking with her, and you didn't feel like you have crossed the line somewhere. Tiffany, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that at all. You give me someone that is very pretentious and know what the fuck you are doing. I think you know what you did. I think you just couldn't take it back. So instead of just owning it and say, okay, I fucked up, friend. I don't need you to mop. I'm just playing with you. Like, instead of you owning that, you're going to ride this through. I already see how you are, Tiffany. I can see it clearly. So Amber is, saying, you know what? I think you two just got off on the wrong foot. So I'm going to set it up where you two can talk and I'll bring all the ladies together so it can be something that, we all come back from because we're all stronger together. But speaking of stronger together, I'm Kayla. I wanted to talk to you because my niece had told me that you had alluded to things, and I know you had said at the event that you asked her what is she on, and and you were alluding to one line, two line, and I just want to let you know it's not cool. And Kayla was like, I. I I didn't mean anything by that. That's not what I meant. I didn't mean nothing to allude to the fact. I just said she had a lot of energy and I just, I was inspired by that. I wish I could do all of that. But no, I would never say anything to that extent, about anybody. You just took it out of proportion. Now, Kayla, you do this a lot. where somebody, now I gave you the benefit of the doubt when Amber said that you had slighted her and you did ignored her presence. I gave you the benefit of the doubt because Amber really didn't know you to really be making that an assumption that you just going around just not speaking to people. Amber did, I gave you the benefit of the doubt. Now I'm starting to turn the other cheek because I'm starting to see what Amber is talking about. You plant little seeds, you water them, you walk away, and when they grow, then you want to say, "Oh, I didn't know it was going to do all of that." Kayla, you knew what the fuck you were doing, and you knew what the fuck you were saying. I think you just didn't think it through, and I didn't think you think it would have an effect. I thought you probably thought that girl was just gonna laugh that shit off. I think that's what you probably thought in your head, but that's not what she did. That girl was highly offended, and you knew what you were doing. So I'm sorry, I can't give you this one, Kayla, this time. Mrs. Best, how do you feel about that?
I actually think opposite. I don't think Kayla's so gullible. I think she's messy on the low. I really
Hmm.
do.
No, I
Especially
agree.
how she moved there. Because to make
Hmm.
that comment, it's common sense not to make a comment like that. And then you did it on camera multiple times. Mm-mm. She's problematic, but you know,
Yeah, no, she definitely is problematic. That's why I said I felt like I gave her grace when it came to Amber's interpretation first meeting her. I did give her grace, but I'm not giving her grace now because I see exactly what Kayla's. Kayla likes to play stupid and act like she didn't do something. Willfully obtuse. Thank you, Dr. Jim Bunny. She does. That's exactly what she does, and it's very annoying because you are a grown woman. That's how I know you ain't succeeded your maturity at your age. You still stuck at 17 because that's some kid shit to do. Because nobody, like Mrs. Best said, nobody with common sense will go to that level. It's one thing to say, "Oh, girl, what kind of coffee you had?" Like Mrs. Best said, "What kind of energy drink thing?" But for you to allude to the other side and accuse that lady of that, that's crazy as hell. That's crazy as hell. Not you distracted by Tiffany's forehead. We all distracted. You know who Tiffany looked like? I know Mrs. Best is gonna disagree with me on this one. But you know who she looked like to me? And I did not see it at first, but I was looking at her and I was like, why do I know that? It was a face that she made. And I've seen this face before. So y'all roll with me on this one. Y'all ready? Dr. Jim Bunny, are you ready? Keywan, are you ready? Because I know somebody has to agree with me. But I feel like Tiffany looks exactly like Nicole from Family Empire Houston. Let me know if y'all see it. Let me know if y'all see it, or let me know if I'm tripping. Because I feel like she looked like her. I'm sorry. I
she
was.
does in the face. I'm cracking up though. Y'all said her forehead big. My husband said, "Let me see, let me see." He said, "Oh damn, damn." Inflated. He said it's inflated. Be quiet. Wait.
You do okay, so you do see it a little. Okay, okay. I was
In
looking
her
at. I was like,
face, they have a similar face. They
and they
definitely
have
do.
similar mannerisms. Like I was
Yeah.
looking at her, I was like, oh, why am I looking at not Dr. Nicole? Y'all excuse me, Nicole from Family Empire. I want that show to come back so bad. That is so messed up. They got a raw deal. They did. They got a raw deal. So we gonna move on from the scene, y'all, because I got to get to Love Mary Trunsville, unfortunately. Um, Amber sitting in the car. She got her mama's coming with her to the doctor's appointment because once again, Mama don't understand this. Mama don't understand why you got to freeze your eggs. Why you just can't get you no man, do it the natural way, and hurry up before you run out of time. Mama on that kind of time. Amber was like, no, I talked to my cousin. So Amber has a cousin who had a baby at like 38 and then again at 41. So Amber feels like, she's learning from people around her in her similar circle. And I guess the cousin has suggested that one thing she wish she would have done differently is freeze her eggs. So since Amber is getting up there in age, that's what she's doing. But Mama said, nah, baby, you need to find you a man. You need to do this. I'm uncomfortable with being up in here. Mama was cracking me up. Mama was cracking me up. So the doctor comes, they get to the doctor's office. The doctor comes out and, she's telling the doctor, about all these things that she's seeing online. And doctor said, the best thing you can do is actually consult a doctor about these things because we could tell you better than, social media. I don't know why people go into social media for, all of these attributes to do with your health and social media doctors and everything. Come to your real doctor and get the real advisement. And yes, we can definitely work on freezing your eggs because you are getting up there in age. So, once again, I was looking at the mama the entire scene because that Baba was killing me. She just old Southern, but I love it though. Yes, she was too. Like, yeah, I just feel like, but that's what you get with Southern moms though. They just don't. They know what they know, and it's a system that constantly works even in today's time, because people still getting pregnant. Maybe not so much getting married anymore, but people are still getting pregnant. People are still doing these the natural way. So mama, until they come with a different way to have babies, mama gonna always fall for that natural way. But it was an okay little scene. I didn't really, it didn't take much for me. Like, it was like, okay, I'm glad that Amber is showing, this part of her life. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about Amber and her fertility journey going through this?
I mean, it's cool. I wish her the best in her journey. That's all I can really say. Her mom was a hoot.
Yeah, that mama, I love that she bring her mama back. Her mama, in a way, almost reminds me of Miss Van, Melody's mama. That's what she reminded me of. Just, less supportive. That's all. But moving along. So Amber has designated the ladies to go to the Civil Rights Museum in Birmingham. I have been to that museum several times. I love it every time I go. I get so inspired by that, to know the legacy that this museum has. Even though the Orange Sickle is trying to get all those establishments closed down, I'm praying that y'all cease and desist him every time, so that way he doesn't do it. But we then before we get there, we have this conversation with Tiffany, and she has Kendra, First Lady of Birmingham, with her. She gonna constantly throw that First Lady in our face, y'all. So be ready. I know a lot of y'all thought that this was very conflicting of First Lady to be on the show as Tiffany's friend. But like I said, y'all, First Lady had a life before she was First Lady. First Lady was throwing that back there. So I mean, I don't see the problem with it. As long as she don't say nothing that's out of the element, she should be fine, and Mr. Mayor should be fine as well. But they're driving, talking about Stormy, and this whole situation of what's going on and how they got to this place. And First Lady Mrs. Mayor's wife, she said that Stormy just seemed like she just somebody that's all about her business, and all about her money, and all about the social media climbs and everything. She don't seem like she just really all that empathetic of people. And I said, Miss Mayor's wife, please don't. This ain't the round. This ain't
Don't
the
help your
time.
husband figure out why Birmingham
Right.
is suffering so much economically, even though it's historic. Do that instead of hating.
For real, because that was not the forum. That was not anything that you needed to say about your mouth to defend your friend. Just sit there and listen. Less is always best in these kind of situations, Miss Mayor's wife. So they're getting there, and as they get there, we also have Stormy and Chanel there. So Stormy decided to bring Chanel, and they're waiting, trying to figure out, okay, are we the first ones here? What's going on? And as they're waiting, Tiffany and Miss Mayor's wife, they come up there as well, and it's very awkward because Stormy is looking around in circles. Where Amber, 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 you over there parking the car? Amber, where you at? Amber, Amber, where you like? So they're like, "Hi, how you doing?" They go, "Hey, how's it going?" Stormy, Stormy in that little high pitched tone. "Hi, how you doing?" She goes, "Okay, where is everybody?" I don't know. Have y'all talked to Amber? Amber coming? So Amber is not showing up. So Stormy calls Amber on FaceTime. She goes, "Hey Amber, like we're here, we're waiting on you." Amber said, "Oh y'all, I done did my first treatment to freeze my eggs, and I got really really sick. I'm not able to make it." Now, I have several friends who went through freezing their eggs, and I get that there are high big side effects to this. So I'm gonna give Amber grace. I was gonna go in on
No, don't
Amber.
give her grace because Stormy is only there because she thought it was her event. I found it weird that Stormy had to call Amber to learn that she did not show up. Tiffany didn't know what was going on. Amber could have communicated to people that she was not feeling well because the moment she got that Zofran was the moment that nausea was solved. It went away. That's how the medication worked. She wasn't right. Either production did this to be funny, and then the other thing is, don't nobody really like Tiffany but Amber.
Right.
So I'm like, girl, I get that you were sick, but if you just having nausea, I'm sure in between vomiting, you can pick up your phone
And
and let
call
people
somebody.
know
Yeah.
that you're not coming. You don't even got to call nobody. Send a text, a DM, WhatsApp.
I'm
I mean, there's so many options.
Yes. Courtney's in the house. Hey, thank you for being here. We appreciate you so much. Oh my goodness. Hi, Shani. Thank you for being here as well. We appreciate you. All right, Keywan. I know I have to go to work tonight, so I trust me. You know, I'm trying to get me get an hour of sleep. That's probably it. I was gonna freeze my eggs, but opted out. I don't want children. Okay, okay. Dutch Jen being a parent. It's something I still aspire to do. Like I still feel like I have time, but if I don't have kids after 40, I'm not having them. Dang, Tiffany only got Amber. She do, and Miss Mayer's wife. That's that lady's name for me. That's Miss Mayer's wife. I'm not call. I don't. I think her name is Kendra, but I'm calling her Miss Mayer's wife. So speaking of Miss Mayer's wife, they take this opportunity to talk to Stormy and and see what's going on. And Tiffany goes, Stormy, I was talking with Sonetta, and Sonetta said that you had a problem with me, so I just want to know what the problem is. So Stormy was like, well, what did Sonetta say? And Tiffany repeats and goes, no, Stormy, what's your problem with me? And Stormy says once again, what did Sonetta say? No, Stormy, you missing it. What's your issue with me? And she says, I'll explain my issue when you tell me what Sonetta said. So in Stormy's confessional, she said, I didn't tell Sonetta shit. So I don't know what Sonetta is talking about. I don't know what Sonetta said. So I'm asking Tiffany what she said. And see, and Tiffany, this is why I have a problem with you. Because I would have said exactly what Sonetta said. I would have called Sonetta on the phone. Sonetta, I'm standing right in front of Stormy. You says blah 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 blah. I want to make sure that that was correct, right? While I'm sitting looking at this lady in her face, telling her she got a problem with me. Sonetta, is that what happened? Call the third person because I definitely would have called. I don't know if Mrs. Best would have, but Sonetta would have been on that phone. What did you say? I want Stormy to hear this coming from your mouth so she don't think that I'm crazy confronting her about this. But I don't know if that's what she did because we're left on a cliffhanger. So I don't know. Maybe she does do that next episode. I don't know. But I do agree with you, Courtney. I do think that Stormy was being a little passive aggressive. I absolutely and childish. Absolutely.
It wasn't just passive aggressive and childish. I look at you, I'd be like, okay, bitch, you scary, fake way. Because why? Stormy done told everybody that she's offended by Tiffany
Mm-hmm.
about her feeling offended, except for Tiffany. Now you got the option to tell her that you feel away, and instead you sitting there trying to go back and forth with her and basically swing your dick around to get her to admit first that she's done something wrong. I
Yep.
get why she did it, but I would have just called her out or called Sonetta in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But Tiffany also was on bullshit because you know good and as well the exact thing that upset her because it was explained to you. So why would you come here acting like you don't understand that she was bothered by you saying mop the floor? So it was like Tiffany wasn't coming there sincere and wanting to make peace, probably because her ignorant ass friend got in her head. And I feel like Stormy sensed that and just took it the passive aggressive route. But no, I would have cussed her out, bitch. You run a janitor company, janitorial, probably cleaning up schools throughout Birmingham while I'm sitting up here helping niggas not to be ashy, making millions of dollars on the stream. Like, we are not the same. Don't ever play with me like that. That's all she had to say. I'm
Really.
surprised that Stormy did not do that. I'm genuinely surprised. But I don't know. Maybe Tiffany will pray about it and they'll figure
Maybe
it
she'll
out.
pray about it. Maybe she'll do what we say. But I'm gonna ask everybody in the chat and my shout out to my replay game. Hey y'all, thank y'all for being here. Make sure y'all are subscribed to me. A lot of y'all watch, but a lot of y'all not subscribed to me. Make sure y'all subscribe and hit that subscribe button. How do y'all feel about Miss Mayer's wife? I really want to know because I feel like for me, it felt like she wanted to be on the show, but because of stipulations, she couldn't. But the mess is still translating. Am I alone in how I feel about that? Cause see,
I just
I'm
know
not.
Stormy better figure it out. I can't stand nobody who open their mouth and complain about some shit to everybody. But then when you have the opportunity face to face with the person you're complaining about, you choose to play some foolish bullshit. I don't understand it. I don't. They both
It's
got on my
it's
nerves.
not. And it's Stormy. It wasn't like Tiffany and Miss Mayer's wife was gonna jump you because you had big ass Chanel with you. Like I'm sure if the shit would have popped off, like y'all would have been great. So come on, like I didn't get that either. I see that too. I'm right here with you. I do. I think that Tiffany, once she's bringing around, because that's a flex. It really not to me, but to Tiffany, that's a flex to be friends with Miss Mayer's wife. And yeah, I don't know why she's here. Like it's so weird. It seems like she was supposed to be on the show but couldn't.
I feel like she's probably just here because of her name and the fact that they're in Birmingham. I feel like that's literally it.
Yeah,
I don't
but
think it's
yeah.
very hard for any of us to get in contact with her. I'll put it that way.
I agree with you. All right, but that was it. That was an episode. We'll see what happens with these two. Um, Tiffany, like to me, I get it, but at the same time, Stormy, I'm not on either side because they both are being petty and stupid. At the end of the day, Stormy, you could have let her know how you felt, and then Tiffany, you could have called Sonetta on the phone because I sure would have brought Sonetta ass on the phone, be like, hey, I need you to say
Tiffany
what.
didn't want to call Sonetta because then she'd have to admit to Stormy that she does know what comment offended her. They both is on bullshit.
Yeah, they both on bullshit. Absolutely. That's what I said. But at the end of the day, that's the only card you got to play now because you're bringing Sonetta into it. You might as well call her. So, yeah. But that was it, y'all. We got to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Unfortunately, that episode pissed me off to every extreme. I'm annoyed with everybody on that show. So if y'all go to that live, be prepared for my mouth because y'all gonna get it. James is not watching his mouth. I'm saying it here and I'm gonna say it there. I'm not watching my mouth. Everybody pissed me off on that episode. I can't even tell you who pissed me off more, but everybody pissed me off. So I'll see you guys on that live. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Mrs. Best. Like, comment, and subscribe, people. Please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys on the next live. Bye-bye.